All right, what a day, what a day, what a day. So, let's talk about the joys of owning an EV, shall we? And I know that I've had some really good things to say about my EV experience, and it still is pretty much pretty good. I'm not going to say it's a bad experience at all. But today was the first day that, let's just say, it wasn't really an EV issue. It was more so an issue where a lot of manufacturers have gone this route. And the route is, let's make sure we give you 4 good solid tires on your car, and we're not going to give you a spare. And let's just say driving 95 miles away from your home and you get a screw in your tire on a nice Saturday morning where you thought that you were going to have a really good day. Turns out to be not the best day that you were looking for. With that being said, though, I got to commend the guys at Discount Tire because they really did step in and help me out. Yeah, sure, I don't have the exact same matching tire as the set that's on my car now, but I had to have something. If not, there was nowhere where I was going to get home. So thank you guys, Discount Tire. Can't say enough for them. They've always been very accommodating for the most part. So I can tell you they're just great to work with as a whole. And I know some people have had bad experiences with tire shops. I get it. And I'm not one of those people who will say I haven't, because I definitely have had bad experiences before. But for the most part, I am just truly happy and thankful that they were able to get us in and out within an hour and 15 minutes. So not bad at all on a busy Saturday morning for them. I mean, each location was sitting in around 13 to 14 cars in their queue. So that's a lot of cars for them to deal with on a day-to-day basis, not to mention on a busy Saturday. So thank you guys very much. Now, as far as the EV side of things, this is not necessarily a bad comment on EV ownership. The ID4, no problem so far at all. This was screw on the ground. You drive by, unfortunately, it could happen to anybody. The issue that comes with is the lack of giving you a spare tire. And the reason why I say that's an issue is just because what happens in those scenarios where you have a ton of people out there, you get a flat tire, you try to go out here, you're on the road, you're in the middle of nowhere, you need to get something fixed quick, and there's not a spare tire that you can just throw in your car to get you to that next location. So you can definitely call on and rely on, talking to someone at, a AAA, or if you have a brand new car, of course, you get roadside assistance included with that. So those are different things that you can look at doing. The problem comes in is it's time consuming, right? It is time consuming, and it's very just frustrating that you have to deal with figuring out how am I going to get this thing fixed? Because what is the next best thing for you to do, right? You could go to a discount tire shop or some form of a tire shop, NTB, wherever, right? There's a lot of them out there, and you can definitely talk to those guys, and they can come out there and they can quote you, hey, this is what it's going to cost, if they have the tire size in stock. And that was my issue. Because EVs require certain types of tires, you can only really replace them with a specific brand and type of tire. And that's where we have to be very understanding as owners that you will potentially get an issue like this that happens. Let's talk about why car manufacturers, as a whole, have went this entire route. And I think one of the things you have to keep in mind is it's cost savings, right? You don't have to put a spare tire in there. It does decrease the weight of the car. So if this is an EV, you don't have to worry about, causing any kind of issues of a potential, range reduction, right? And it makes a lot of sense because if I put an extra 40, 50 pound, maybe even 75 pound tire in the trunk of the car, that's constant weight that's always going to be on that car. So that brings me to another point, and the point is this. If you're thinking about buying an EV and this is your first ever EV, you also want to make sure you're looking at the cost of ownership, but what about those repair costs, those little minor repair costs? So it can also be something as simple as, checking out your insurance costs. How much is it going to cost to replace either your car itself or certain components of your car should you get in an accident? That is a big critical thing that people don't remember or think about. So my encouragement to anyone who's looking at buying a new car, whether it be an EV or whatever, always go to your insurance company and get an insurance quote first. You can easily get the VIN number from the manufacturer, or from the dealership, I should say, and just say, hey, look, I want to get this checked with my insurance company to see exactly how much my cost is going to be for coverage. But when you start talking about, just first initial thoughts, getting a general insurance quote as far as to let you find out how much is this car going to cost me more, either monthly or biannually or annually for insurance, is something that you definitely want to know, and you need to make sure you factor that in before you buy a new car. So that's just a couple things I wanted to talk to you about today. EV ownership, it's great still, nothing dramatic. Yeah, it set me back a couple $100 for a new tire, but realistically, if I was driving any other car in my arsenal of cars that we have at home, all of them, not one of them have a spare tire in the trunk. So it still would have cost me at least a couple $100. Let's just talk about what Volkswagen does do real quick. They do actually give you a awesome little pump and fix-a-flat kit. And when I say awesome, I mean the shittiest piece of crap you ever seen in your life. No, I'm not even joking. I could have went on Amazon and bought a better pump system than what they gave me. And then the fix-a-flat kit, it was garbage. It did pump something in there, because when the guy took the wheel off and he took the tire off the wheel, I could see a little bit of splatter of that stuff, but it barely went anything. I just threw it in the trash just a minute ago because it just didn't make any sense for me to keep it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go get some either green slime or fix-a-flat itself and put a can of that in my trunk, and then I'm going to order me a much better pump than what they gave me in the car, which, like I said, it should be embarrassing, the type of hardware that you're getting put in the car. If you're not going to give me a couple $100 tire, at least give me a $50 tire pump, something that's worth it. This thing had to be like $9.99 off of Alibaba. Ooh, sick burn. And that's what they gave me in the trunk. So yes, I'm a little spicy on that one, but I will tell you right now, it might be worth for you to take it out, whatever you have in your trunk, and test it. At least the pump. Take that little pump out, test it to make sure it's going to work. And it didn't give me a gauge to actually tell me exactly what I was pumping in. It had a little small gauge to tell you what the pressure was, but it didn't give me like a stop point where I could just hit that. It just was frustrating. It really was frustrating. So that's me just going off and my little rant here on what's included. But it's not just Volkswagen who does this, right? I've seen the exact same kits in Mercedes, in Audis, in Honda, Toyota. They all, if they don't give you a spare tire and they give you this fix-a-flat kit, I'm telling you right now, take it out, test it, make sure it works first off. And then the second thing is, you may want to go ahead here and you may want to, honestly just toss it and go get something new. That's what I'm going to do, because I don't want to have this become a big issue for me. So thanks again for watching. We'll talk to you soon. And next time, I guarantee I won't be as spicy when it comes to my EV experience. You guys have a great day. Drive safe. We'll talk soon.